Hello? Am I being heard now?
Oh, there we go.
Is any of this stuff working?
We got it.
Whoo!
Holy cow.
That was exciting.
It's a silent treatment. Yeah, that was planned.
That teaches you don't ever touch any buttons. Just none of them.
Yeah.
Except for all the buttons you need to touch. It all works out. Holy cow.
Bless your heart.
Welcome to the House of Vex, where we don't know what the heck we're doing.
It's true.
It's very true. Except for a couple things. So how's everybody doing this lovely Friday? It's Friday night, right? We do this on Friday nights, I think.
It is Friday.
Yeah.
That I can confirm.
So this is how it works for us. Just things beep on our phone and we're like, oh, we got to go do that thing. We don't know what day it is. It just is what it is. It all works out.
Things happen.
Yeah. So is anybody even out there or?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So what are you guys painting tonight?
That's a good question. Let's wait to hear from
They're
the
like,
audience.
absolutely nothing. What are you going to paint?
Just literally nada.
Good times. Well, I've got my dragon from the last time that I'll be working on. But this is House of Vex, which is my own personal paint night because I don't get to have those very often. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we've got
yeah.
lots of people we know.
Oh.
Sox just ate some Skittles.
That is good. Speaking of Zox, so I'll just show you a couple things that I've been working on. Especially too, if my camera decides to turn off again, we will not be on that camera. So we're on this other camera. Cool. Okay, so I guess I should turn that camera on. Gosh darn it. God. So here we've got our dragon from last time that we'll be working on tonight a little bit. We've got some weird tealy wings, all that good stuff. We're just kind of playing with that. And what have I been working on this week? Let me try not to break this thing.
Oh my gosh.
So,
it's just one of those days, I think.
Yeah. So I've been working on a commission for my best buddy, John. And it's this Abaddon model. Got that right there. Get it in frame, in focus, all that good stuff. So anyways, he's in front of a big old gooey slime sludge pit. The Space Marine in front is an Imperial Fist because my other super good buddy, Sean, his army is Imperial Fist. And so we want to crush him.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted to have him, like, it's not really a fiery sword. It's just, like, super hot. So got that going on. And you see the background. He's pretty cute. He's a cutie patootie. So that's one thing I've been working on this week. And, oh, guess what, Liz? You're supposed to say what?
Sorry.
I've been painting my own army. So I got Necrons. And so I've been, I paid my daughter to build them. She got really good at it, which was cool. And then we both sat down and painted them together. So one of my tutorials on Miniature Monthly was how to paint an army super fast, how to paint Necrons really fast. And so we used that tutorial to see if it actually worked. And apparently it did. So then after the tutorial was over, they were pretty basic. And then I took my airbrush and made them super interesting. So I've got an entire army of Necrons now, fully painted. Now, they don't have bases yet, because I haven't sculpted them yet. So, just kind of waiting to do that. But for now, the bases are just black. But I think they came out pretty cool. Cool, like, glowy lighting effects and stuff. And you may be asking yourself, Liz, why is this important tonight?
That's a really good question, because I have absolutely no idea.
Well, because we need to put glowy things on the dragon. So trying to figure out how the glow stuff works and everything is probably a good idea. So yeah, I've got a pretty good size army now of these guys. And I did it in all about under 20 hours. So I'm super stoked on that. Very quick, very fast. Super awesome.
Yeah. So we did have a few people telling us what they were doing.
What are they doing? You know, it'd be really cool is if people posted it in the Discord. Like if they had pictures, they could post it in the Discord.
Good idea. If y'all are not in the Miniature Monthly Discord, you should join us.
Yeah, all the peeps.
I'll create an invite link real quick. And then post your photos in there so that we can see what you're working on.
But until then, what are people working on?
I will butcher names. I'm just gonna go ahead and let
We're gonna butcher them.
I'm real bad when it comes to reading names.
She does it on purpose.
I don't.
No.
I really don't. Risdom Design says I'm at work, but I've been working on a 3D printed Warlord Titan. Holy cow!
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Wait. Full size or like Titanicus size? I want to inquiring minds want to know.
That's a good question. And while he is answering that, the Howell family, is this Dodge? Is this Dodge? I think that's Dodge.
It's either Dodge or Harvey.
Dodge or Harvey, yeah, one of the two. He said, Reaper's Fenari Crusader is on my desk tonight. I'm working my way through Aaron's non-metallic metal class again.
Cool. Good.
Awesome.
It pays to go back through there multiple times. Just keep working at it because it's non-metallic metal is not an easy thing to get down good. So you just got to keep doing it.
Yeah. Untamed Painters said that they are working on Necromunda right now.
Cool.
And then and Wisdom Design said it's full size Titan.
You got to be kidding me.
Holy cow.
Did you okay, since you went full size, did you scale it up so it's a little bit bigger than everyone else's? Because that would be super cool. I mean, why not, right? You know,
go big or go home.
Yeah, go big or go home. That's exactly it.
And it is Dodge, by the way.
Oh, cool. Hi, Dodge.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Dan said, I was glad to read that there are suitable alternatives to the Cthulhu obelisk for the blending glass. Yes.
Yeah. Leave it to me to pick the most popular model and it sells out.
Yeah, but you just gotta be flexible.
Hey, yeah, it is what it is. I mean,
he's really good at being able to change things last minute and to accommodate for stuff like that. So.
Right, and at the end of the day, we're looking for flat surfaces basically. The obelisk was cool because it had a octopus on top.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to practice some of the blending techniques you did on the obelisk itself, you could just go up to the top of it. We don't have that, but you can always just have another model, ready to go.
Yeah.
So
why is your paint palette camera
in a weird spot? I don't know.
I just happened to look up and I was like, why is there a random...
Oh, you know what? Probably because...
You didn't change
yeah, there's things that are going on that
while you figure that
not
out,
in our control.
Marianne is here. She's obviously working on Shadows of Brimstone stuff.
Sweet. Hey,
As
Marianne.
per usual. Brimstone said it's already big enough. That's fair.
No, the Titans are never big enough. I have, for the first time in my life, I somehow ended up with a Reaver Titan, but it got a little bit damaged in shipping back to my house. So I have to fix it. So maybe one of these House of X nights, I will just actually fix a Reaver Titan that's broken. So that will be exciting. All right, let me move this down. I'm just going to do this. All right, cool. We are rocking.
There we go.
All right. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that.
You're just moving around on the screen.
What?
When you're moving yourself around, you're just doing in little circles.
It's you just pick yourself up and move yourself around. So here's another thing that I've been working on. This was actually a giveaway model. Well, not a giveaway. They won it. My buddy Chris Spots won this model at one of our Miniature Monthly weekend. What do we call them? Paint days? I don't know.
It's a paint hangout.
Yeah, it's a hangout. Yes. So which we're actually doing tomorrow. So if you guys have nothing to do tomorrow, you should come check out the paint hangout because it's super fun and we all just sit around and talk and be stupid and paint and stuff, and it's kind of cool. But and sometimes I give away a model to the winner of the speed paint contest that we usually have. So this was one of them, and I got to finish it up. So that's why I'm showing it to you, so I can be accountable and actually finish this thing.
Yes.
So this is pretty cool. This is a Raging Heroes model. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. I'm too hard on myself. Then I've got, knock my camera over. This is another one. Speaking of Zox, here's where your commission's at. It's looking pretty cool too. I just need to do some final little touches on this, and I think I'm gonna sculpt a base in Blender. I don't know, but something cool like that, and that will make me get my digital printer out and actually print it. So
yeah, we need to do that.
Yeah, but this is looking pretty cool. Do you like it, Zox?
He said I thought
acceptable?
I said light armor. Just kidding.
White armor? Yeah. Well, that's white.
Light, not white. Bless your heart.
It's light black armor.
There we go.
There you go. So, pretty cool looking though. Here's another one I'm working on. While we're talking about working on stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, babe, you could show like 800 things because you literally have projects sitting around everywhere.
I do. We could just be here for like 3 or 4 hours just showing stuff that's happening. So this is Lord Voldemort, and he's the reason I'm learning how to sculpt in Blender right now, because I need to make his base, which is a bunch of stairs. But he's coming out pretty cool. Working on right now some magic effects, like wisping up through his jacket or his robe. His robedy cloak.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, cool. So, we're ready to
paint this dragon.
Let's paint a dragon. Let's do it. Let me get another drink of coffee. That's what you gotta do. You guys gotta go.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So this camera is way too close.
You don't want to paint with it like right up on the wings?
I need to move all these other models too, because I don't want to...
Overspray?
Yeah, there's nothing worse than overspraying on things that... Be careful with that one, because his little...
Yeah, he's moved.
His little doohickeys are crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. So
Dan says he's learning ZBrush. How do you feel about Blender?
I love it. In fact, I just disconnected ZBrush. So, how does he like the ZBrush?
Good question. Oh, Reaper John, are you doing ZBrush too? Yeah, Reaper John's doing. He loves ZBrush.
Yeah, you got to switch over to Blender. Blender's the new ZBrush. No, I mean ZBrush is the best sculpting program by far. But everything that I'm doing, I can do in Blender right now. And Blender's actually, I can hard surface model and sculpt at the same time, and at a certain size. So where ZBrush, you can't, it can measure what you're doing, but it can't tell you this is 2 inches tall or 54 millimeters. Like, you have to kind of guess. And Blender is exact. Everything's like perfectly sized. I can make things exactly the size they're supposed to be, and it's pretty awesome. And I didn't think I could sculpt in it, so I had ZBrush to move my hard surface over to ZBrush to sculpt in. And then turns out Blender does that too, and it does it really well. So I was like, okay, well, I like free. Free works out pretty good.
Free is real nice.
But that being said, I mean, ZBrush is friggin' fantastic. And the algorithm is a little bit better for controlling your mesh and how much of your software power is being used by that. Like, sometimes Blender can sort of bog down. But if you're smart about it, you don't have that problem. So it kind of is what it is. But at the end of the day, I spent a long time learning Blender. And then I was like, am I going to do that again for ZBrush? And it's just, those programs are insane. So whatever. Okay, so we got this. I don't know where my glasses are. I lost them.
Again, I'll look at them. They're probably in the bedroom.
Probably, or maybe they're on the couch.
They're on the dining room
They're on the
table.
dining room table. So this is one of the things when you start getting old, you just can't see anymore. So it is what it is.
And then you forget where you put things.
And
like
then you
800
forget
times.
where you put them. And then there's like fingerprints all over them and everything. So, good times.
Oh yeah.
So as we're getting started, does anybody have any questions? This is the House of Vex, so it's all about airbrushing, which we have talked nothing about airbrushing so far.
No.
If anybody has a question on airbrushing, go ahead and ask. I will try to answer whatever I can.
Or if you just have a random weird question that you want to ask Aaron.
Or you just want to tell me that I'm doing it wrong. Yeah. Like, I got to tell you, I am probably the best airbrush cleaner out there.
Excuse me? No. No.
I am the best airbrush getter dirtier out there.
If you want to see how much crud I cleaned out of Aaron's airbrush the other day, just go to our Discord.
Yeah. Apparently, my students, one of my students was contacting Liz and just like, his airbrush is so dirty, you got to do something about it. Super
No,
funny.
she didn't contact me, but afterwards she was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much," because during your private coaching session, I was like, "Oh my
very,
gosh."
Very cringeworthy.
Yeah.
So I can't remember how I painted this. So we will just, we're just going to start over.
We are not starting
We're
over.
not starting over. But I do kind of remember how I make bone.
Ooh, are we getting bones?
Yeah, I need to do a few more of these bones, and then I think I'm going to start, because I want to get a little bit of this. So we started with the bony maroni stuff up here, and then I want to move it back at least halfway so that we've got the front half kind of not done, but, you know, looking like it could be done if we were lucky.
Is bony maroni the technical term?
Yeah. Yeah, everybody knows that. Where have you been?
I don't know, but it sounds like a can, like a Chef Boyardee pasta. Beefaroni, bony maroni.
Oh, Lordy. Lordy,
Fried
Lordy, Lordy.
bologna.
Yeah.
Oh, fried bologna sounds real good, right?
Canned corn.
That does not rhyme.
So we had baked jicama tonight, and it was
Holy
delicious.
cow. Yeah.
I just want to, start the food talk right away.
Why not?
Right off the bat.
Why not?
Why not?
What are y'all having for dinner? I mean, I feel like this is what we always talk about.
Well, yeah, because this is paint night. I mean, when we had paint night, we didn't talk about painting at all. We just talked a bunch of smack.
Well, yeah. So what's everybody having for dinner?
Or breakfast, depending on what
Or
part of the world
breakfast.
you're in.
Zox, yes. That is, yes. I guess nobody's eaten.
What?
Jansen, what do you have against lunch? We actually kind of almost always forget to eat lunch. We eat lunch at like 4 o'clock. Then we have dinner at like 6.
Something like that.
Yeah.
What is Dan sculpting in ZBrush, and what is John sculpting in ZBrush? I kind of want to know what like everybody's.
Yeah. Good question.
What are people working on?
I do have a question.
How many times have you thrown your computer out the window? Is it so frustrating?
Yes. So Magnetic Gumby, I love that name, said, "What kind of vent system do you run for airbrushing?"
I don't.
Wow. They're new to airbrushing, and they are trying to get an area set up.
So Amazon has airbrush like hoods, like airbrush sets for like $100, and that's what my buddy Alan runs. And that those work pretty well. You can run them inside your house. I'm very controlled with my airbrushing now, so I don't really have like a bunch of paint flying around. So I don't have a vent system set up. But yeah, the Amazon ones are awesome. Because, I mean, you can do all the way up to $500, $600 for a system. You don't really need to do that. Technically, you do need some sort of vent going out, you know. But it does have a filter on it. I've seen people use bathroom air, like they just make like a bathroom air vent system. You could do something like that.
Good plan. All right. Wow, I don't even know how to say that. I don't know. I don't know how to say that. But they're having pineapple basil tofu.
What?
Thai style.
What? So is that like a dessert?
Ooh, that sounds. They said I'm drooling over Memphis barbecue for a hypothetical trip once Corona is history. Yeah, that sounds delicious too, but that tofu sounds real yummy as well.
Memphis barbecue is one of my favorite barbecue joints. I discovered it years ago. I went to a games workshop at a thing called Games Day. That's where the Golden Demon events would be and everything. And so we were there visiting, and we discovered Memphis barbecue. Me and Bryce Coconor. And that was an amazing experience.
Reaper John said that he's finishing up the Apothecary Dragon Shop. That sounds awesome.
So he's making, is that terrain then?
Good question.
Does he even know?
Let's see. Love the colors. Yes. Aren't they the best? So the colors he's choosing were supposed to be modeled after my sky scale.
And then it went sideways somewhere along the line.
And then it changed.
Yeah.
So
which is how
fine.
all painting should happen.
It's
it just
fine.
evolves as it goes.
Yeah. Dan said, I'm sculpting random bits and pieces as I learn various techniques. I'm much more technical than artistic, and it shows in my approach to learning ZBrush. That makes sense.
Cool. So are you guys doing like sculpting, or would you say it's more hard surface modeling or a little bit of both? I'm just interested because I started with hard surface modeling because I didn't know what I was doing. And also everything I wanted to make was squares and circles and stuff. But now I'm starting to learn to sculpt too, which is really cool as well. It just it's all intuitive at a certain point.
Oh my gosh. I just remembered I have a third monitor and I can actually just watch you on here.
Oh.
Look at that.
Cool.
Magic. Okay. Then Reaper John said he's messing around a lot with the new cloth sim stuff.
Right. They're cloth simulators. So like I know in Blender, you can just it's like you put a piece of paper, just a plane, and you can actually drop it and it will just fall down over whatever you have and it will cover it like a rug or something.
Yeah.
But it's also good for doing clothing and all that stuff.
Okay. Magnetic Gumby said, I love your bold approach and thanks for the compliment on the name. You're welcome. And the helpful info. They were the ones that asked about the fit.
Yeah. So
Zoc said that he has the Amazon hood and it works really well. So.
Okay. Yeah, so there you go. That's confirmation right there. I know my buddy Alan had it and it worked great. I don't even think he had it in his garage next to a window, and I think at first he didn't even have it vented to the outside. It just sort of caught everything in the filter to an extent. Plus, it was in the garage, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But I think he eventually actually vented it outside. Now, if you're in an apartment, I don't condone drilling holes in your walls or anything. We don't own the place we're in. We're renting, so I'm pretty sure Jesse would appreciate us not drilling a hole in the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is that option. If you're multitasking and you've got, let's say hypothetically you own your own house or whatever, or you live in a trailer or something that you can cut holes in the walls, and you were doing 3D printing too, you could actually vent that stuff the same way. And so you killed two birds with one stone. You got your 3D print set up and your airbrushing set up kind of in the same area, and it's all venting out, which would be probably ideal, maybe. Or it'd be a hot mess, one or the other.
And then, sorry, I'm trying to catch up on comments. There's a lot. No Direction says, oh, nice. Love the color fades here. It almost looks smoky right now, too. Is that intended effect or just the byproduct of it being in progress?
It's probably, I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, it doesn't really look smoky.
I get what they're saying. It's got like it's like hazy effect. And so when I was spraying initially, I'm going at hard angles. So like if you're the airbrush looking at the model, it was like this. So the paint's spraying down and it's cascading over. When I'm doing the greens, the teal, it's doing the opposite effect. Like as you turn it, you start seeing where like it's all turns to teal. So if you're smart with your airbrush, you always use your angles really well. And so with this, towards the end, I was keeping my angles really hard, and it was just cascading and fading down over the whole thing. And what will happen is you end up with like that kind of smoky look. Depending on, this has pretty good texture on it, but some dragons have like a lot finer, like crackly skin and stuff, and you can get like really amazing looking like transitions of color that just sort of fade over the whole thing. So yes, that was kind of built in, not necessarily like on purpose, but it's a byproduct of the technique, and I want that, at least for now. And then I can always tighten it up later if I want to. Or if I just think it looks cool, if it looks kind of mystical and everything, that's cool too. So the other thing is, as I start putting more things, like when I start painting the bones in the arms and stuff, it changes the way things look. So, you know, it's kind of intentional, but not intentional at the same time. I know I was letting it do that on purpose, so I guess it's intentional. I don't know.
It just happens.
I just paint at this point. Yeah. Like, I don't really care. But yeah, I like that look. So.
All right. Dodge said Black Magic Crafts YouTube channel has a DIY video on a vent system that he put together. That's pretty cool. Intense job with great results. Dan said the cloth stuff looks so good. I'm starting with hard surface stuff vis-a-vis Z Modeler.
Okay.
Magnetic Gumby said we grilled burgers and some sausage.
Nice.
That sounds delicious.
That sounds really good. I'm down. I'll be right over.
Reaper John said Z Modeler is the jam. He's doing both. He likes starting hard surfaces, and then he uses Z-Fears for base skeletons.
Right. So how do you guys size your stuff? Because that's like a major issue I know in ZBrush. This is like the craziest wet blending I've ever done. I'm kind of looking between.
Oh, because of the, I forgot. Yeah, that is super difficult. You're doing great.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that wet blend right between under a wing. Yeah. I've got to see it and you've got to see it. This is.
Oh my gosh.
That's actually impressing myself.
Tavares said, "Is that a Bones 5 dragon?"
Yeah. Yes, it is, and I forget which one it is. Gosh darn it! Why didn't we write it down?
We never can remember the name.
Like, we should have written it down.
Never. And now I don't even remember the nickname that we gave.
Mortimer.
That was wrong.
Hilda.
Help someone with the name.
Yeah. Zox, we know you know what it is.
It's not Larry. Why does it say that? It's not Larry.
I think it started as Larry.
Probably, but I don't remember. Hopefully in a minute somebody will pipe up and say what the name of the dragon is. But yes, it's Bones 5. Jesse said thanks
For not drilling holes in its walls. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so Jesse, about that back room.
Yeah, right. Shavirna. Yes. Oh, that's right, because we called her Shakira. Okay, I'm writing this down somewhere as soon as I can find something.
Shakira the dragon. I mean, with these colors, it kind of is Shakira.
Yeah,
just get her to dance.
Okay, I lost my place. Where did it go? Oh, Magnetic Gumby said, sounds like a good reason. Sounds like a good reason to convince myself to get a resin printer. Yes, absolutely. Do it. Yeah.
That coming from the people who bought a resin printer and have not touched it since we got it. You should totally get one. Be like us. Don't use it.
And we did, but we just didn't have
So part of it is the learning curve on sculpting is drastic, to say the least.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was like, you know what? I don't want to start printing stuff, and then that will detract me from sculpting. So I'm kind of forcing myself to learn how to sculpt, and then I'm hoping that my first thing that I print is something I made, which will probably be awful, but that's okay because, it's a learning curve. But I also know that the printing curve is pretty steep too. So it is what it is. So I'm not ready to start printing yet. But Liz and I took Andy Piper's 3D printing class at the virtual expo, and it was freaking awesome. Like, it is actually kind of funny. Like, everything started making sense, because he was telling kind of how it actually works, and that is awesome. So yeah. I feel like I have a little bit better grasp of what he did or what the technology is, and then it will just be a matter of actually making it work.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Why does this keep scrolling without my permission? How dare you, computer? Dan said I've got a decent blower for... It just keeps going. I've got a decent blower for air extraction for my laser, but it's nowhere near my painting station.
Who are you calling a blower?
No Direction said, grab a model and import it that you know the scale of. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so that's what I saw before too. And that's one thing I like about Blender is I don't have to do that. It's 40 millimeters tall, make it 40 millimeters.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, granted, when I first started using Blender, it was like, the program's so big. All those programs are so big. It's like, it's really daunting. And I didn't think that I could sculpt in it. Like, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to sculpt well in Blender. And then all of a sudden I was. And I was like, oh, shoot. Well, there you go. So...
Reaper John said, a lot of the sculptors have created a little tool that is a certain size. You can bring it into every project. Then you can export compared to that tool to get the sizing you want.
Right.
And MMETC. I don't know what that means. Those are letters that
mean nothing to you.
Probably something completely different to me than it does to everyone else. Yes, it's Shavirna the Slayer. Josie said, you can tell if her hips lie.
What?
Because we named her Shakira.
Oh.
And Shakira's hips don't lie.
Oh.
Duh.
Dang. I did not know that.
She has a song literally called, Hips Don't Lie or something like that. Anyways, No Direction says, my first sculpted figure was for my boyfriend. It was the mascot of his favorite band.
That's cool.
Really cool.
That is really cool, yeah.
Dan said, I'm not very concerned about exact sizing, but if or when it becomes necessary, I think there's a scaling plugin for ZBrush under the Z plugin menu.
So I ran into that problem right away because I was sculpting a base for a model that was already that Voldemort model that I showed at the start. And so I needed the base to be the right size for Voldemort. And so that's one of the things that in my search to be able to do that, Blender gave me the easiest option for that because it literally just made it the right size. And I don't know why ZBrush can't have a measuring system. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you're just like, this needs to be 2 millimeters tall? Boom, done. It can tell you that it's 2 millimeters tall, but it can't make it 2 millimeters tall.
Yeah.
Very weird. But you know what? That's the one weird thing about all those programs. They're weird. Like, it's like, I don't really understand what's going on here, but.
They are weird. Yeah, Josie said printing is my favorite thing ever now. I've been doing it for a year and had no idea how addicting it would be. I have piles of unpainted minis that would make you sick. Yeah.
How many piles of still in the file do you have? Because that's the new shelf of shame.
That's what we
your
have.
your 15 gig or 200 gigabytes or a terabyte of models that you've never even touched.
That's what we have currently. We have just a ton of files and our print. We still don't have the FEP paper or whatever it's called.
Oh no! Well, we have the original FEP that was on it, but we don't have replacement.
Yeah,
there's FEP on it. So.
Yeah.
I mean, technically we could just start printing, but like I said, that's a whole nother ball of wax.
Yeah.
Wax.
No STL hoarding is a real thing. It is. Holy cow! 16 terabyte server storing them all. That's what Josie has.
Great.
Holy cow! 680 gigabytes of files.
So is anyone,
full of unpainted minis.
For the sculptors out there, has anyone taken the STLs and tried to modify them, like to, not so much like to sell as your own, obviously, but like just like, hey, I want to put this arm in a different position, or make the head a little bit bigger, or make a smiley face or something like that? Has anybody done that type of thing? Am I going too far?
Direction said digital kit bashing is one of the best things about the hobby. That's pretty cool. Jesse had to buy 2 new hard drives just to put the files on them. Jesse also has like 800 printers too.
Yeah.
So. Holy cow. Josie said that they've used about 2 terabytes of it so far. John, that's true. He said it's all about how you build it with separate tools. It makes it easier.
Yeah. So that's the other thing in Blender. You don't have tools. You just make the objects and you just grab them whenever you want. So that was another thing that I kind of liked a little bit better. Like I said, I mean, it's just like anything else. It's like using Photoshop or CorelDRAW or something. It's like what you prefer. And I know that the industry standard is ZBrush. But I think for me, it just started coming down to like, I wasn't using ZBrush anymore. I was just using Blender because it was so much easier to stay in that program. Because it did all the things I wanted. And so I do, if I ever do need to get ZBrush again, though, I will just resubscribe. So that's the one nice thing. It's just a subscription. Mm-hmm. But it was a little scary when I first started, though, because I realized that for the hard surface stuff to get the right size, I needed Maya. And Maya is $200 a month. That's an expensive program.
Yeah.
So that was a little overkill, and that's why I went with Blender, because it was free, and it did what Maya did.
Works perfectly.
And it works really good. But then we also got those Huion tablets, which Liz is actually working on right now. I think she's doodling on top of my dragon while I'm painting it.
I can't do that. I mean, I probably could.
You probably
There's
could.
probably a program where I could, but I don't know what that would be. I lost my place. Oh, No Direction said I made one that they're super proud of. A Hobbit Knight riding a black chocobo. I can't words. It's like 5 different models merged together, and then I had to custom sculpt a face and feet.
Nice.
That's really awesome. Jesse said, after going through some of this training for Amazon Web Services, I almost want to just start a dedicated cloud storage for all of them. That way it expands as I go. That would be super cool. Hey, Heather.
Hey, Heather.
Dan said, I hate software subscriptions. I would much rather just buy a title and be done.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I'm sort of glad I didn't buy. I mean, the reason why I subscribed to because you can subscribe or you can buy ZBrush. And I knew that like if it wasn't something I wanted to do, that would really suck if I bought an $800 program.
Yes.
Plus, I'm pretty sure Liz would have killed me.
I would have.
Like, you're going to use that program. I did, however, at one point in my learning Blender, because it was so frustrating, I looked at her and I said, if this staircase kills me, I'm going to figure it out.
You did.
And I did.
And I said.
But at that point, I was pretty sure that it was going to kill me.
Yeah.
Because I was like, nothing's working. You know, it's like you make a square and it makes a blob, and you're like, what?
Yeah. Those are super fun nights. Like 4 a.m. He's still in here trying to figure stuff out.
Yeah. And she comes
I'm like,
out, what have you done? And I'm like,
bed?
I have absolutely done nothing. I've worked 8 hours today and I have nothing to show for it.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
this is the most fun I've ever had in my life.
Great. Gosh. Guess who's here? Bryce.
Robert Smith from The Cure.
No.
That would be so cool, wouldn't it? Just saying. If anybody has a hookup.
Yes, but that's not the point.
John,
Bryce
you
said,
work for Reaper. You
Right.
get them on that. I want Robert Smith from The Cure in the House of X. Like, just, chilling. We can do This Is Not a Love Song.
Oh, no.
No?
No.
All right.
No.
Hey, Bryce, what's up?
Bryce said, oh, didn't I? Like, you better just start over. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. No Direction said it's all about cost versus subscription and how long you use it.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Like if I needed, like the ZBrush when I started using it, like I really liked the way it sculpted and everything, but at the end of the day, it was like trying to get the files to talk to each other from Blender to ZBrush. Plus, I didn't know what I was doing, so I was probably screwing it up. It was a major pain in the butt, and once I learned how to sculpt in Blender, it was over. It was like, why even? I just didn't go back to ZBrush.
Right. Glenix, I hope that's how you pronounce that.
I don't know.
They are in the class next weekend.
What class? We don't have do we have a class?
Yes, next weekend. Unlike Andy.
Just kidding. We know.
Unlike Andy, who
freaked out and thought, he thought it was this weekend.
He was like, oh my gosh, I only have 2 days to finish prepping my figures. And then I started freaking out because I was like, oh my gosh, I literally don't know what day it is.
Right.
Like, am I wrong? Luckily, we still have another week. But yes, they said I can't wait for the class next week.
Yeah. So I'm actually doing wet blending right now. This is probably wet blending that you'll learn in 103, but it is wet blending nonetheless. And if you missed it, I actually was doing it in between, like underneath the wings and stuff. It was pretty crazy there for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It was really scary.
It was so scary.
It was so scary.
I lost where I was at. Blender keeps getting better every year. Couldn't go back to 3D Studio Max now. I don't know what that is.
There's several sculpting programs, so it's
just another sculpting.
Yeah. So where Blender was really bad, and so I'm actually subscribed to a Patreon for Blender. It's this guy Maker Tales. This guy Jonathan, really cool English guy. And the way he explains things is just like if you went to like Blender school or something. So he explained how to make everything precise. And after that, I was able to do it. So up until that point, I sucked. And then after that, I could do what I needed to do. So I've taken that. I subscribed to his thing, and that's actually been really good.
Yeah.
Just for asking questions, basically.
Nate said there's a class. Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Tomorrow next weekend.
Yeah, tomorrow next weekend. Tomorrow a week away. Let's see. Dan said, I expect that I'll eventually end up using both. One of my core philosophies is using the right tool for any given job.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of that, I subscribe to Gnomon Genome or Gnomon Studios. It's a Hollywood group that does video game assets and Hollywood special effects. And that was one thing I noticed in there. They use every program because there's different programs like for coloring stuff and things like that are better. They're made just for that particular task. Like ZBrush is pretty much just for sculpting. Blender's weird because it kind of does everything. Pretty good. And the problem is it's not the best at everything. So so that's why Hollywood's not using Blender yet. But the day they do, it'll be pretty wild.
Jeff said, I'm loaded, so I am ready for the loaded brush. Oh my gosh.
I think
the whole week, Jeff, like...
Hold your horses, buddy.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So the loaded brush is a technique that almost broke me.
You figured it out.
Yeah. I do it my own way. I don't do it the way Ben does it. Ben's magic man.
I was about to say, that's because he's a wizard.
Yeah. Ben is a wizard.
Yeah. Nate said I didn't go to Blender school for 8 years to be called Mr. Blender. No Direction said if you haven't tried it, sculpting in VR is super great too. It's hard to describe how intuitive it is.
I saw a guy doing it.
Terrifying.
I saw a guy actually doing it. It was really weird to watch the video of it. It's crazy. Like, yeah, because he's got, like, you see his hand and he's got this. It's weird. It was just weird.
I can't do VR anyways. It makes me sick. I get motion sick. So I have a feeling that would be a mess.
The icing on the cake right there.
Is that what it would be?
Yep.
Let's see. Yes. Oh, Dodge. Thanks for reminding me. Tomorrow is paint day. I
thought we just talked about that. But yes, it is.
I just thought you were just mentioning their paint days.
No. I said it's tomorrow. And I was super excited about it. I was like, speaking of that. But yeah.
Well, thanks for popping that.
But if you're right here and you didn't notice it, then that means everyone else didn't notice it either. So
true.
That's good. Yeah, everyone should be at paint day tomorrow.
Yes. Shaken said, or group model prep day. Yes. If you are in Aaron's class next weekend and you have not prepped your figures, join us tomorrow.
Yes.
And you can prep your figures on the Miniature Monthly Paint Day call. That will be in our Discord.
Right. That is a really good idea.
Yeah. Let's see. Jeff, I cannot say that sentence out loud without laughing. So, Jesus Lord. Nate, paint day, what's that? That thing
Nate's starting to sound like an instigator
right
here.
Where you sit and paint stuff in a Discord call with
we just sit around awkwardly and stare at each other and
Miniature Monthly folks.
Everyone tries to put out the vibe and look cooler than the other kid. And
is that what it is?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. We're all just hanging out and painting. Maybe next month we will be able to get back to doing the speed paints. We will not be having a speed paint tomorrow because someone needs to get caught up on the speed paints.
That would be me. Yeah. So it started off really simple. I would paint a model in 2 hours just like everyone else, and whoever won that model. And then somewhere along the line, I'm like, well, I want to do it a little bit better, so I'm going to spend a few more hours on it. And then that turned into me not getting stuff done. So we're down two. We have 2 speed paint figures left that Aaron needs to finish, and then he's got 1 figure from the last class you've got to finish for Heather. Yeah, and then I'm caught up. Yeah. Which means I'm way behind because we have so many commissions that it's like insane. But
No Direction said, wow, it's nuts how fast you're doing those blends. Yes, and if you would like to know how he's doing these awesome, fantastic wet blends, we have a class.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not saying nothing.
He's actually teaching a wet blending class.
Starting next week.
Starting next weekend. It is not too late to sign up for the class.
It's never too
all
late.
of the classes will be recorded, and you can access them for forever. So, like, even if you have stuff that you're doing in April, then you still sign up for the class and then just do the class on your own time.
Yeah.
Super easy, super flexible.
Super fun experience for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the main part that makes the classes successful is just the fact that we're doing things together as a group. And people are, if you're posting in the Discord and stuff, that's a key right there, because it means you're actually painting, and we, when there's problems, we discuss them, and I think it makes life much better.
Absolutely. Clinic said what time? So the paint day tomorrow will be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and that is Eastern time.
That's Eastern time.
So I know that that's super early for West Coast, but it's a come and drop in when you can do it.
Come as you are. You could, as long as you're wearing a shirt or something, you're good. Like, you could just be in your underwear.
You could be in your underwear, but please don't show us that you're in your underwear.
Yes. That is a...
Then we'll have a
whole nother set of issues.
Yeah.
I will be in therapy for years, probably.
Is that what it would be? No. No.
I would actually probably be in heaven.
And no, Jeff, it is not the same time as the blending class, because the blending class is next weekend.
Yeah, we're doing the blending class and our monthly hangout on the same exact day.
Right? Heather said, yeah, you better get on mine. Talking about her Fenari. You gotta finish.
Yep. It will happen. Oh, I'm not messing with the black belt, man. That's going down.
That's right. And he said until dropper again. Yes, also true.
Yeah.
Hey, at least he didn't do his airbrush mishap.
What was that?
Do you remember when we planned the
No,
super funny
that was not planned. That actually happened.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
That's right.
Yeah. No, that was super funny. That was
so
one of the
funny.
best things ever.
The hangout is voice and video, or if you want to just do voice, that's totally fine too. You don't have to do video. There's no pressure at all. So it's however you feel comfortable.
We do all have to sing, though, and you have to do it by yourself.
That's wrong.
What?
Aaron tries to sing sometimes, and then...
I sing around the house, and my dog actually, hates it. She goes ballistic.
She starts barking and, running around.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. Yes. And for the classes, Aaron does give live and recorded feedback on how you're progressing throughout the class.
Yeah.
Chef of Love said West Coast, East Coast, they got nothing on the Midwest.
That's right. The Middle East.
No.
What's that?
I don't know what you're about to say, but I'm going to stop you because
It was a Saturday Night Live or something.
Bad, so
yeah.
let's just keep going with the comments. Let's see. Josh said Aaron will teach the class on Saturday and give feedback during the class as you post pictures, and if you post pictures in the Discord during the week, he'll give feedback on those as well via the recorded video. Yes, exactly.
So it's kind of cool. Everyone learns from everyone else as well, because all the feedbacks, everyone gets to see everyone's feedback. So I think that's really beneficial. I know it is for me. I've never actually had it happen to me, but if it did, I would really like it.
I don't know why that was so funny.
I'm sorry. I'm the only person I know who's done that. So
No, that's true. So far, I'm sure other people
somebody else has got to do it.
Yeah.
Come on, Kirill Kanev. Get on it.
You just call out
Kirill. I love Kirill.
And Heather, yeah, that's probably what it was. It was probably just, Erin not telling me things.
What
She
happened?
also said that Discord feedback is awesome.
I enjoy doing it. I get excited sometimes. Like, I'm sure they can tell. I start throwing stuff and...
Jeff said I showed that to my wife and she died laughing. I'm assuming he's talking
The
about...
dragon?
No.
Oh.
Oh my god. I'm assuming he's talking about the mini that you sprayed in the face and then threw in the water.
Oh, yeah. That was good.
Yeah. And also, I do think it's super funny because I thought that it was the model that I had painted.
I know. I got everyone in that joke.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, he actually did it, but he used my model. Great. No Direction said, how is your palette that clean? 5 minutes into painting and mine looks like a Pollock canvas.
I don't know. My white has traveled downwards.
That's kind of weird.
It's kind of it's like it's on a hill, but
well, your wet palette has like a hump in the middle.
Also, I'm only using like 2 colors, so it's you should have seen with that Abaddon model today. I was sort of wrapping things up a little bit, and there was paint everywhere. It was pretty epic.
Jeff said next time we will all give you feedback on Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that, please.
So when you said my blending was not so good, like what you should have meant was...
What you should have meant, not what you should have said.
What you should have, would have, could have done.
Words.
Words are...
Words are words.
Incredible.
Is that what they are?
Yep.
Is anybody else working on stuff?
Yeah. How come I'm the only one painting?
I'm just drinking.
Yeah. Flash.
It's not.
Okay, wait.
It's just a little mixed drink.
So this is weird. I don't really know how this sculpt is going. So is the stuff that John is sculpting, is that for Reaper? If he's still
Good
around?
question. I'm sure he's still around. Heather said that she's painting. Good job, Heather.
Yeah, it's about time. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'm not done. God. Smallish Sam said, I'm working on some dark dwarves. I can't pronounce that word. Josie said, I'm thinking about painting. Hey,
Good.
that is
Good.
the first
I do
step.
that a lot too.
That's what I do. That is
Yeah.
my approach to painting. I think about it, and then it may or may not happen at some point.
Sometimes right before bed, she just looks at me and she goes, I have been thinking about painting all day and I am exhausted. Is that how it goes?
Yes. Let's see. Jesse said, I'm painting my Necrons,
Nice.
editing videos. Oh, you made your pretzels, Nate? So Nate started making his pretzels, and then he accidentally dropped them on the floor before he could get them in the oven. So Zox and I were just like, you pick them things up and you stick them in the oven.
Yeah, with all the
They're
dog
fine.
hair on it.
It's fine. You can pick it out.
I just don't know. No.
And
I would start over.
I just
Oh, we have a piper down. We have a piper down.
This hurt me so bad. Reaper John said, no, I'm just learning as a hobby.
Ah, gotcha. Cool. If only you worked for a place that reproduced sculptures, though. You know that.
Right? Marion said, I'm sleeping in tiny 2-hour sessions, feeding tiny baby cats every 2 hours.
Nice.
I'm slowly losing my marbles. Yeah, I would probably lose mine as well.
I think Marianne lost hers a long time ago. I mean, let's be honest.
That's why you get along so well.
That's
with her,
why
'cause
we
you
love her
also-
so much.
you
Yeah,
also
it's just
lost your
like, yeah,
marbles.
it all works out.
Yeah. Let's see. Heather's daughter apparently wants Nate's pretzels. That sounds really weird. Not the. Oh, he said, what? Wait, Nate, did you actually pick them up off the floor and throw them in the oven? I mean, I
ate
would.
him. He just ate him
have,
raw.
and I probably
He's like,
wouldn't
screw it.
Yeah. Granted, we clean enough that it wouldn't really matter, but
Matters enough. I can't do dog hair. That's one of the lines that I draw.
I know. That reminds me of. I'm not gonna tell the full backstory because what if they watch?
What if they ask
video at some
questions?
point?
Yeah.
No.
What if someone's paying attention?
Yeah. What if somebody that knew me years ago
Previously in another
in my
life.
other, yeah, we'll call it that. So there was a place that I worked at one point that made like cupcakes and stuff, and
Is it called Cheetahs?
No, we're not gonna go there. But they made cupcakes, and I just kind of sold them. I was just like at the counter, just selling things, and they would make them at home.
Ooh.
And then bring them in. Yeah, there were several times where I was like, that's a hair.
It's a fingernail in that cupcake.
No. Why would you say that? Why would you say that?
Because we're all thinking it.
Needless to say, I did not work there very long. It was a little weird. A little gross. A little weird.
Would you like when people ordered stuff, you'd be like, here's your cupcake, and there's a free hair in there for you?
Right? There's a free dog hair. Right there on that hyson. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
No Direction said, is there a color you don't like to use? Not for technical reasons, but like...
Green.
Not your
I
color.
absolutely hate it. If
Which
you watch...
is funny because
if you
he
want,
painted his Necrons green.
True. That paint no, never mind. Paint no.
You know...
Do as I do, not as I say. Like, it's just...
It is the... Oh, I forgot.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Is it
One of those things.
Shavirna? Did I get it right? Shavirna model. Dragon.
Green is my nemesis. I really don't like that color. But certain shades of green are okay. Like the Necrons are a certain shade that actually works pretty well. But also I airbrush most of it. So airbrushing is the trump card.
I don't know. Just say that it's the jam.
It's the jam. That sounds so...
I don't know. It's the best.
That's it.
It's great.
So white, yellow, and green can be airbrushed very easily.
Nate. He said, oh great. First mini I'm bringing to coaching in 3 months and it's green. Can't wait for our session Sunday.
What do you think of my model? I hate it. Nate, I hate it. It's green.
Why did you choose green?
Well, don't get me wrong. I like green models. I don't like painting green models.
I don't have a problem painting green. I like green. I have a problem painting yellow. But I feel like, I don't know, I think yellow's a more common color that people hate to paint.
Yeah, well, it's very, like I said, you start airbrushing it and you'll like it.
Yeah.
But until then, not so much.
Right. He said, okay, let's try something new. Load your airbrush with black primer. Okay, now. Someone said Citadel Paints.
What about him?
Are you asking if he's using them or if he likes them? While we wait for that answer, No Direction said for me it's yellow, like dandelion yellow, because it's all depressing. What?
So
I have never heard somebody call dandelion yellow depressing.
So yellow is a very chaotic color. Don't look at me like that.
I'm listening to you.
It can be very unnerving, the color yellow. So it's funny. I remember somebody saying that. Sebastian Archer, very good Australian painter, did a tutorial once, and he started talking about how chaotic yellow was and how uneasy it could be of a color it could be. And then he showed a Chaos Warrior painted in yellow, and he's right. It was very unnerving. And ever since then, I was like, that's an evil color. Yellow can be very evil. It can be good, too, so.
Learn something new every day.
But it's funny that somebody else actually thought that was the same thing, too. But it's just because it's true.
Josie said, I feel like green is a tough color to hate when you paint a lot of fantasy minis. Yeah, that's a good point.
I still hate it.
Shaken said, everyone needs to bring green models to Aaron's coaching sessions.
Yeah.
That's a challenge. Everyone that is one of Aaron's private coaching students, bring a green model to your next private coaching.
Thank God. Jesse's Necrons are nowhere close to green, so.
Marianne said, how the heck are you doing such bright highlights but still making them blend? Wet blending?
I took my own blending. I took my blending course. No.
I took my blending course.
It's like shameless promotions all the way through. John's like, okay, they went over their limit about 45 minutes ago. No, that's the power of wet blending, is you can get very bright to very dark colors very quickly. Sometimes it doesn't work, but it seems like it's working here. I like it.
Yeah.
The blends aren't perfect, but I could make them perfect if I wanted to. But I don't right now. I just want to get paint on the model.
True story. Okay, Soma said, is that what you're using mainly? I prefer dropper bottles over pots, but in the end, it's all about the colors. They were the ones that were asking about Citadel.
Oh, Citadel? So, I can't really grab anything, but that's my table right now. You can see there's like a whole bunch of there's Monument, Citadel, Vallejo, Reaper, tons of Reaper. I use everything. It's basically whatever works. It comes down to color for me. So that was another reason why I wanted to teach the blending class. We're going to learn about paint too. And I found in my own painting career, I've kind of gone in circles, right? Like certain paint lines don't seem to work very well for you or whatever. I remember, I started with Citadel, then I switched to Vallejo because all the cool kids were using that. And then I realized that my style of blending worked with Citadel Paints much better. So then I was buying my Citadel Paints back, which sucked. But at the end of the day, then P3 came around, I started using those. And, sometimes they worked really good for me. Sometimes paint lines, sometimes they have certain characteristics, like Scale 75 is very matte. And so sometimes that can give you weird textures on your models that I don't like. That being said, you just got to figure out how to use that paint. So if you start understanding the properties of your paint, you stop using them in instances that they're not going to work. So like, for instance, Reaper has basically two bases. They have a thick base and a thin base. So the thinner bases, you could base coat with them, but it's going to take more time. You're going to be building up color over time, and it just takes time to do. These colors I'm using right now are all fairly thick, and so I'm able to achieve these wet blends and get my colors really bright and vibrant, boom, right away. And so I'm not fighting the paint right now, but that's by design. I chose colors that I knew would work for this. Perfect example, so Reaper, so I'm using an ochre. I'm using Citadel's ochre. So this color right here, Baylor Brown. It's pretty thick, and I love it. Reaper, in my non-metallic metals class, we used N&M Gold Base, which is an ochre color. It's a very good ochre color, but it's thin. So if I was using that color right now, I'd be having much more problems getting my paint to do what I want it to do for this instance. But in N&M, a lot of times I'm putting layers and glazes over things, and so having that thinner base works out. So it's kind of like you just use the paint, start understanding your paint, and your painting will get better and faster. Now, go take on the day.
Go take on the day.
I feel like you guys remember Dr. Laura?
No.
I used to actually listen to her. I don't know. She was like a therapist or something. But she'd always be like, she'd finish off every sentence with, go take on the day.
Was it a radio station or something?
No, it was like a radio show, So like people would call up and they're like, yeah, when I pick my nose and eat it, my wife hates me and all this stuff.
Oh, so
she'd be like, yeah, well.
Kind of like the Delilah. That's what we have down here. It's
I
Delilah.
don't know. Yeah, probably. That's probably exactly what it is.
Okay. Anyways.
Derailed.
Back to the plant stands.
So that being said, I use all different paints. I just really don't care. And what it comes down to a lot of times is just color. There's certain colors I really, really like. For instance, on my Necrons, to achieve that really vibrant green.
Like something was breaking.
So to get this really bright green color, it's literally really bright. Like it's like when I put it in the living room in the dark, I can see my Necrons because the color is so vibrant. But part of that magic is this Vallejo, what is this called? Livery green. It's a game color, Vallejo game color. So this livery green is the brightest color I have in my entire collection. Like it is just electrically bright. But it not only is it bright in the bottle, but it's bright on the model. So I like same thing if I'm doing magenta, I'm going to use Reaper's Clear Magenta because it's super vibrant. If I put white in, a little bit of white into it, it makes it even more luminous, like more vibrant pink. And that's what I want. It's the brightest color I have. I've tested them all. I've tested P3's Murderous Magenta and all these different things. And it just works the best. So I think if you take the time to go through your collection and find the colors that work for the purpose that you want, like if I was painting the House of X logo here, I would use Clear Magenta. That would be the color because I know it works really well for what I want and it will give me a really bright, luminous color. So.
Nate said, I hate green. And then he immediately talks green for the next 20 minutes. I know. This is Aaron we're talking about. You give him one thing that he's passionate about, whether it's good or bad, and he's going to go with it.
That's right. So, I can't stand dragons.
No more green.
Then he painted a dragon for half a year.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Linux said, I painted my Stormcast green and red. Now I know why the folks at Warhammer thought it was crazy. Yeah, green. No Direction said it's the color things. Whoa, my brain just derailed that. It's the color things fade to when it's sun bleached.
Green?
I don't know. I'm lost on that one. And Nate said that's why McDonald's are red and yellow. Get your ass out of the restaurant. Ooh, I hope we can say that word. Think about it. If not, sorry, John.
And then Liz has been banned from our own show. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I know. Josie said, is your paint watered down or are you adding anything to it?
No, my paint's completely thick. So
Another thing that we talk about in the class on next weekend.
Yep. So we'll talk about paint thicknesses and stuff and when and why, where, how. All that. Ooh, wow, the rain is coming down like banshees. If we disappear, it's because we dead.
No. Why would you say that? You were the world's worst about jinxing things. Oh my gosh.
Oh, see, it stopped. We're good.
Oh my gosh.
So have you ever noticed there's a drain right off to my left here? Jesse, do you remember that? Like when it would rain? It sounds like someone's taking a leak outside the house.
It's that one corner.
I know, it's the one corner right there. It's like dripping down the side. And it's like, is someone going to the bathroom?
It gets real loud.
It gets real loud.
I lost my place. Jesse said, I don't like green because it was his stepdad's favorite color and he wasn't his favorite person. That makes sense. That's a good reason to not like the color.
So my reason for not liking green is it's just really hard to...
Eric, we know. You don't like it because...
It doesn't blend very well for me. Like, it just... The colors do what they want to do.
Okay. Sentence.
All right.
We're not talking about green for another 20 minutes.
Well, everyone keeps bringing up Nate.
No,
keeps bringing it up.
I'm just catching up on all of these comments because you talked about green for 20 minutes.
Oh.
Duh.
Green.
Josie said, so when where is this blending class? It is in that link. Oh, you got it. Yeah, it's in the link that I put in chat. And it starts next weekend, but like I said, it's not too late to sign up.
It's never too late.
It's never
Even
too
if you're 3 weeks into the class, it's not
still not too late.
Yeah. But
Let's
that
see.
being said, it does help to actually participate while the class is happening.
It's a good thing. Neon says flow effects. That's pretty cool. No Direction said yellow. That's the color I find depressing because it's the color of abandoned places. Oh,
Is it?
I didn't know.
That's on Netflix, right? Abandoned Places. Is that a TV show?
I don't know. Maybe. And Marianne, rain, it's this stuff, it kind of looks like when the sky is spitting.
Oh yeah, you're in California. You don't know what that is.
Yeah, Aaron learned what rain was last year when he got here, and it literally didn't stop raining for a full year. Yeah. Heather said I had an office desk next to a drain pipe once. It was awful when it rained.
That was awesome.
Yes. Nate, did I miss something? Yeah. Nate said, all right, Liz, since Aaron won't do this, put a nylon rope down that drain spout. The water will run down the rope and won't sound like it's peeing every time you stream.
I thought he said a robe. I was like, why would I put a robe on?
Rope.
Wait, say that again?
Rope. Okay.
Or if we put some oil on that.
I was looking
you
at
got
my shirt
oil on you?
earlier, and I got some olive oil on my shirt.
Olive
and
what?
it stained it, and now I'm sad. Yeah, so I don't know if there is a spout in that corner, though. I don't think there is.
I mean, I kind of like it. It's like white noise. So, talking about white noise, what kind of white noise do you guys listen to? Or, like, do you listen to audiobooks or music? Or do you just talk to yourself like I do?
Like when you're going to sleep? Or like
No, when you're painting and stuff.
Oh, okay. Good question. We'll get back to that in a second. When people start answering. Smaller Sam. No, Aaron doesn't like green. If we're not getting into it, it's just a really long conversation.
It was childhood trauma.
Yeah, something. Nate said make sure the rope is green. Ruined. Aaron streams once a month because that's really all our schedule that's really all our schedule will allow. So yeah, just once a month. Have a good night, Marianne.
Good night. Paint more shadow stuff.
Cranky Dog said, listen to you guys on Twitch. That's some great white noise right there. Just zone out, not really listening to it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So what did you do last night? Well, I listened to this guy bitch about green for like 85 hours.
No Direction said I listened to Peeps painting on Twitch. Yeah. I've done that. Nate said podcasts are for painting. We were listening to a couple of podcasts. So I don't know if anybody knows what the black tapes are, but it's super scary. Not super scary, but it's super creepy. And they kind of ended it, and it wasn't so great. If you want to chat about that, just send me a message, and I can talk about it all day long. But
really cool show that doesn't end.
Yeah, it was a great podcast, but I'm not really sure why there wasn't like a wrap up. It was just kind of
ended.
Yeah. And then we listened to one called Brasco. And that one was kind of cool too. I just like scary things. And so, yeah. And then we switched to audiobooks. And I found a couple of audiobooks. The one we're listening to now, though, I'm about to give up on it. It's supposed to be scary, but it's got all this romance crap in it. And I don't want romance. And it's unrealistic.
We want people to die.
I just want scary stuff. So, yeah. Cranky Dog said either that or CBC Radio in Canada or Discord with other painters. Great plan. Detrimental said music, podcasts, or audiobooks. Rigneys, I don't know if I said that right, said I get caught up on podcasts while painting or just listen to chill music. It's hard to paint when you are jamming to tunes. That's fair.
So that was the one thing that I didn't like about the audiobooks was I was trying to pay attention too much.
Yeah.
And it was distracting me from painting. But then when I painted, I wasn't listening to what they were doing. So It kind of was, I mean, it was still good white noise, but I was kind of bummed at the end. I was like, oh, I wish I would have heard that book.
Like actually listen to it? Yeah. Jesse said color the whitest noise. It's true. Oh, yes, Nate, black tapes. I'm telling you, just send me a message, please, because I need to talk to somebody about this, because Aaron... I've listened to the black tapes probably like 4 times over now. Aaron's only listened to it like really once. So I need somebody to chat about it because still really frustrated after like years of not having anything. Ruin said, cool, I need to check out the Patreon again. Was on it a while back. Yeah, that'd be awesome. We've got, I think, over 100 and something videos now. Jeff said really crappy movies, TVs, or whatever's. Ooh. Nate said Magnus Archives. Okay.
What's that?
Somebody else. So I'm in a Black Tapes group on Facebook. Don't judge me. And that was one of the ones that they had suggested too. Magnus Archives. Okay, I've written it down so that we can listen to it later. Josie said, I really like the Stuff You Should Know podcast. Ooh, that sounds really cool. CBC is awesome, is what Dan said. Jesse said the Happy Face podcast.
That just sounds evil.
It's a scary one, yeah.
Is it?
Listen to that too.
You know, it is really amazing when it's just something audible and you get goosebumps on your neck. Like,
yeah.
It's like crazy that they can make you visualize that something really, really bad is happening, about to happen or whatever.
I love it so much. He said it's a fave. All the haters about the ending, I just put in the dumpster. That's fair. Dan said, that's a problem for me too, paying attention to the background noise instead of the job at hand. My solution is reruns I've seen 100 times, like Star Trek. You kind of did that with The Office.
Yeah.
When you were in San Diego.
So I've listened, like usually I would watch movies that I'd already watched before, so I knew what was happening kind of, and then I would just listen to them. So I've listened to way more movies than I've watched probably in my lifetime.
Yeah. Detrimental said, Jim Can't Swim is great. It's a criminal psychology on YouTube. Ooh. That sounds good. We need to check that out too. Went from Black Tapes to a ton of other podcasts. We need a channel on the Discord. Add channels for everything. I had like a
Miniature Monthly is just going to turn into like a podcast review site.
Yeah.
like, how did that happen? Remember when we used to paint? Whatever.
Oh my god.
Good times.
Yeah. Dan said, I love old-time radio dramas like X-1. Is that kind of like what the Black Tapes is? It's an audio drama? Like, because there's different people and they're playing.
Yeah, there's different people in there.
Yeah.
It's not like that one book where the guy tried to be the,
oh my gosh, that was so
female
freaking
characters,
funny.
and that was really weird.
Yeah, that whole book was weird. I'm still confused, like, about a lot of things in that book. But we finished it in like 2 days.
We did. I don't even know what it was about.
It was.
I just remember the guy's voice. I can't remember the name. We don't know what it was about, but it was great.
It was that family that, like, her
husband ends up killing all of them or something.
Well, that just gave away the ending. I'm just kidding. They didn't. But no, her dad died or whatever, and then she inherited his land, and then she goes for the funeral, but they didn't have a good relationship. It turns out like the house has an evil presence. It was weird. It was really weird.
Oh, maybe that's a different book. That was a book I didn't hear a word of. What
That
was the one
guy.
where they went to the one place and then the husband got possessed and...
That was that
Oh,
one.
that was that one? Oh, okay, well.
That was the...
There you go.
That's just all you remembered was the possessed part.
Yeah, the possessed dude. And then,
That's super funny.
then you're like, just when you think everything's going to be hunky-dory, everyone else dies.
Yeah.
They're like, we're just killing off the whole cast. They're like, we took a chapter from George R. R. Martin and just killing everyone off.
Josie said, lore is kind of creepy. The narrator is an acquired taste, but if you can get past him, it's worth listening to. I actually tried listening to lore, and for some reason, I just could not really get into it.
I like Lorde.
What?
Lorde?
No, lore.
Oh. Whatever happened to her? Does she still sing? Or?
I have no idea.
She was on top of the world.
Ruin said, Old Gods of Appalachia is a good podcast. Oh, actually, somebody also suggested that one.
What?
Old Gods of Appalachia. Somebody in the Black Tapes thing suggested it to you. I don't know what it's about, but apparently it's really good.
It's about a mouse.
Yeah,
And
we'll go with that.
2 donkeys.
Detrimental said, Lazy Masquerade is a YouTube channel of creepy stories that's mostly just audio. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to look at that too. Zyder Raven, I have to go for now. Want to say very good, very cool color work.
Oh, thanks. Good, fine, be gone with you.
No.
No, we appreciate everyone showing up. I don't know. I just wanted a paint night, and this is awesome. I love talking with everybody and just hanging out. And actually, I'm sure Reaper is very happy that Paint's actually getting on their dragon. So, like, it's a win-win, right, for everybody.
Ron is super excited.
Yeah.
Finally painting it.
Oh, Ron who? Burgundy?
No, he's not in the chat. I was just saying, just in general.
Ron? That guy the guy who works for Reaper?
Yeah.
I'm just
That
kidding.
works for Reaper.
That one dude?
Yeah. Nate said, it's from the same studio as the Black Tapes, Tanis, Rabbits, and the last movie. I've listened to Tanis. It was good. I haven't tried Rabbits or the last movie. He said, Fuller Scholar do the White Vault. I'll have to look at that. They are amazing because of the accents and Foley sound work. The disappearance of Ella McRae, spines, and mirrors or tops. Alice Isn't Dead. Oh, I've listened to Alice Isn't Dead. And I've listened to Limetown. Limetown was crazy good. The left-right game, I need to listen to that too. See, Nate, we're going to have a massive conversation about audio drama horror because it is the best. The original Turgeon said from Google, how dare we think we can break the skin of a god and dig out its heart without bringing forth blood and darkness. Only Gods of Appalachia, Old Gods of Appalachia is a horror anthology. Ooh. Yes. Okay, so we definitely need to check that out. That sounds really cool. And Bryce said that guy.
What?
I don't know, but you need to talk to your Bryce.
My boy. You're my boy, Blue. Bryce is our standing roommate at ReaperCon.
Mm-hmm.
And we love it. We love it.
Yes, we do. I was trying to finish my drink. It was very warm.
I bet it was.
It is just like weirdly hot in here.
Yeah, because it's like 94 degrees outside. It's not that hot, but it is. It's strangely warmer than it feels like it should be.
It's true. Oh, right. That guy comment that Bryce made was for Ron.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ron who?
Really?
Hmm?
Really?
What? Who? I'm painting the wings of a dragon, sister.
You know, it's really funny because some people ask me, what's it like living,
So bad. Just
living with Aaron?
a lot of crying, gnashing of teeth.
Seriously, this is exactly what it's like.
We're getting ready. We're like 2 minutes out tonight, and I'm like, I have to poop. And that's what happened.
Yes.
And then I came back, and nothing worked. It's
Yes,
like,
everything was broken.
oh, yeah, that's great. Awesome.
Yeah.
But I did relieve my bowels, which I'm sure everyone, including Bryce, is very...
Well, sweetheart, it would not be an Aaron show if you
We
didn't
did not
mention
talk about
poop
pooping
once.
at least once, yes.
I'm sorry, people that have never been a part of these.
Any
with
interesting
Aaron
bowel
before.
movements this week?
Oh my gosh. Anybody have any interesting questions to ask Aaron? Something that's just
So interesting, it hurts.
so interesting.
It just hurts. Hurts so interestingly enough.
Is that what it is? Yeah. I don't think anybody has any questions to ask you.
Good. It's all so self-explanatory.
Yes. My friend Philippe said, at least you haven't farted on stream yet. That is true.
They get all that. They get all that in the gaming streams.
Yeah.
I forget that your crew has heard way more of me than they ever want to know.
It's true. They literally hear you fart every time we game. Every time.
We should actually do a Twitch stream of that. And it's you gaming, but everyone listens just to hear me fart in the background. I'm serious. It might be a thing.
I mean, I would be down to do that. That would be really fun.
You know, I mean, they have streams where people just watch people sleep. I mean, this would be better because you don't know if I'm actually going to fart or not and how loud it will be.
I think it would be really funny.
And then just the commentary that happens after that, like, holy cow, what was that?
Jeff said I'd show up for the podcast talk, but I stay for the movements. And Bryce said lots of corrections, sort of like raising a child. Yes.
There was one very infamous time at Gen Con. I've never actually been to a Gen Con. I've always worked Gen Con, so I don't get to go out and look at things. And so one year, what would happen is that's where I do the trade-off for any commissions I'd done for Dark Sword miniatures. I would bring them to Gen Con, and all the stuff I do for Flying Frog would go to Gen Con and everything. So Jim shows up from Dark Sword, and he's like, "Hey, Lovejoy, come back to my room. You know, bring those models up, and we'll transfer them." So I go up there, and while we're up there, I'm like, "Hey, Jim, I got to go to the bathroom." You know, so like half an hour later, I come out. He's like, "What'd you do?" Or I go, "I got to poop," you know, and he thought I was joking, and I tore his bathroom up. Like, he talks about that to this day. That was years ago, like 10 years ago.
Needless to say, Aaron's not allowed to use his bathroom ever again.
True.
Holy cow.
We stayed at their house one time, and they were like, "Please, Liz, you can use the bathroom, but Aaron has to go."
To use it outside.
They had me go to the neighbor's house, which I felt really bad for them.
But yes, Bryce, exactly like raising a child. And, you know, people ask me if I ever want to have kids. And the answer is no. Yeah, Aaron has 2 kids of his own. They're grown. It's perfect.
Good.
And then I have Aaron already. That's enough.
One and done.
Yeah, that is enough. Oh, no. Jesse, I am not asking him that question because then it'll be another 20-minute.
What shade of green do I like? More of a teal.
No, that is not it.
Okay.
Jeff said I'm painting. Glennick said, will I be able to blend like that by the end of week 4? Yes.
Maybe.
If you practice.
If you apply yourself.
And you apply what you learn in class, then yes, you can. Detrimental said, Sawbones is an awesome podcast of a husband and wife where one is a doctor and they talk about how old procedures, practices that just didn't work because they were outdated and were morbid.
And
Pretty
then
funny
they
and morbid
recreate
and sad
them.
with a comedic twist. That sounds kind of cool, actually. We need to check that out.
I would love to see a reality TV show where people sign up to get like their gallbladder removed and they do it like they did in the 18th century. That would be cool.
The original Turgeon, no, he is not brand loyal for paints. He uses
whatever works.
Every brand of paint. Like we have paints on our wall literally from every company, and he just kind of grabs whatever colors he sees fit. Or actually, most of the time he just grabs whatever colors he sees first.
Whatever's on my table.
Yeah. Yeah, or whatever's sitting right in front of him. And you'll learn that in classes, which is why we have to make sure that he only has the class colors in front of him.
Yeah, because it gets
crazy.
It gets crazy.
Let's see. Mark said we all missed y'all at Amp's show. Yeah. There's just not this year. Just too much with the pandemic and stuff. So maybe
maybe
next year.
I definitely miss going to that one. There's there's several painters that I really look forward to at that show, just seeing their work and stuff. So that's.
And then Mark said, can you talk about the properties of the different pants?
Pants?
Pansk? Are we talking about Pansk here?
Yeah.
Or
maybe.
Oh, sorry.
The short version is there's thick paint and there's thin paint. there's a couple different. Now I know there's lots of different chemicals that can go into paint, and so each manufacturer has their own thing. But you'll notice, like, have you ever noticed when you open a bottle, it just seems like the paint's kind of on the thin side. And it's supposed to be an opaque paint. We're not talking about washes or something or contrast paint. You know, it's like regular paint, but it just seems a little bit thinner. Perfect example is Succubus Kiss from Reaper. Super, super thin. Great color, but super thin. Am I going to base coat with that? Probably not. I mean, I could, but it's going to give me problems. Picking something that's like a little bit thicker base, maybe a similar color but thicker, and then you take the thinner paint and that's what you're going to layer on later. Being smart about your color, your paint selection, it always works. Some paints dry a little bit slower than others. Other paints, like when you're wet blending, you want really thick paint. You could use thin paint, but again, it's going to take more skill to get it to go down right. The thicker paints, the colors go together and then they just stay right where they're at. A really thin paint, the colors go together and they spread out. So if you're trying to be precise and you want color to be in certain spots, you want to go with the thicker paints. Also, you get better coverage. So, I'm a commission painter, so if I'm putting a base coat on 4 times, that's costing me a lot of money, For instance, my Necron army that took me 20 hours, if I had to put the base coats of that on 4 times, it would have taken me 80 hours. Maybe not that long, but you see where I'm going with it. It's time. But also it's frustration. So when you have thinner paints and you're trying to use them like thicker paints, it just doesn't work. You'll get a lot more brush strokes and stuff like that because you're trying to put a thin paint on a little bit thicker and you'll have problems. So kind of understanding first, just seeing, is this paint seem like it's thicker or thinner? And you'll kind of figure that out pretty quickly. And then from there, you can start looking at other properties like how fast it dries and stuff like that. That's the Cliff Note version.
Sweetie, I don't think you understand how Cliff Notes work.
That's the 3.5 hour version of Cliff Notes.
Yeah.
Let me quickly explain this to you. I pretty much, all my explanations, I blame Bryce for the time of all of them. Because Bryce is always like, yeah, but how does that happen? And like, he makes me explain stuff, which is great, but it just last
So Bryce,
thing,
what
we
learned
all
today
just thank
is
you.
that it's your fault Aaron talks so much.
I had a friend tell me, I just met them on the Reaper forums, and they're like, you think too much. I was like, I've never been told that before.
No, he does not. That's super funny. I don't know. Maybe you do. Remember?
What? Maybe I what?
You do think a lot. Like, way too much.
Yeah, because I think I get that from my
Like,
dad.
those random times I look over at you and you're just
I'm
like
smiling.
half smiling for literally no reason at all.
I have conversations in my head.
Yeah, and then you start smiling.
Sometimes it's to you, and we're having a joke or something. I can't help it that it's not verbal, like out loud.
But it's weird because, like, 9 times out of 10, you don't think about what you're going to say before you say it. You just blurt
That's why a
it.
lot of times, well, yeah, and sometimes I answer, like, I'll be having a conversation in my head, and I will answer out loud, which is even worse. I'm sure there's some psychologists out there like, this guy needs help.
Bryce said, try and ask Aaron what color he used on an old model.
Red. Yeah, I know Reaper makes about 600 of them. It was a Reaper red. Go for it. Go. Which one? It doesn't matter. Just use red. It's cool.
He said, I don't know his normal answer. It's true, though.
Yeah.
Like, so people will send him messages on Instagram.
How did you paint that one thing? I'm like, well, I
don't know.
I don't know what was on my palette that day.
Oh, Bryce said, I've been trying to be able to do that. Is Bryce a cataloger?
Yeah.
Catalog every color you use?
I think so. Bryce is more of a mechanical engineer, so
Yeah.
yes, all day long.
I get it.
But I used to be that way. Like, I don't know where it changed, but I think it just got to the point where I understood tones of color. So like a green could be bluish green, it could be yellowish green, it could just be green.
We're not going to green.
We're going deep into green.
Why? He said it doesn't matter.
I don't want to know anymore.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so Dan said there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. Sometimes you just need to consult an expert.
So when I edit my own videos, and that is a very much love-hate relationship. When it comes out good, it's great, but there are times I am so angry with my computer and myself, and those are good days.
Yeah, that's what we'll call them.
Talk to myself quite a bit on those days.
No, the best ones are when I look over and you're watching yourself in a video like 800 times, just the same part over and over again because you think it's funny.
Yeah.
So you said something
and it may
really
not be funny to anybody else. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's an inside joke or something, you know?
An inside joke with himself.
Yeah, with myself. Yeah.
Oh, those are great days. Jesse said that's got to be a pretty common thing. Because if you ask Tabitha, I do the exact same thing. Yep.
It is what it is, man. It's,
Oh, lordy. Jeff said Aaron washes himself on video. Watches, not washes.
I do. Yeah, that would be
does
interesting.
Not wash himself on video.
Yeah.
That would be a completely different Patreon.
Yeah.
Altogether.
But one that we are working on.
Well,
no.
it wouldn't be a Patreon.
Yeah, because they don't allow it. So
no.
It's going to be more of a
OnlyFans.
grinder, maybe.
No. OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
The name of the. Oh my goodness.
What?
Bless your heart.
I don't know all the cool new terminology here.
Bryce said Aaron is right. As long as it is close to the color, it doesn't matter. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So if you're wondering what I'm doing right now, I'm taking all of my mistakes in the blends and I'm turning them into texture. So I like doing that. It's much quicker than actually fixing the blends. And I'm creating more textures too.
Yeah.
I did we had the person we had early signups. Someone won a free private coaching for the classes. It was Tanya.
Of that, Razuzan, we're still waiting for your email.
Oh yeah, I guess there was a second person, but
yeah.
I was so I did a private coaching with Tanya, who was very nice, and so we were going over some wet blending because she does mostly layering, and she wanted to get faster, and so I was like, well, you want to learn how to wet blend because that will go very quick, and you'll get better color, like you'll get more colors out of your colors. And and so I was like, okay, I'm gonna show you a bad blend and how you fix it. I kept doing it perfectly. I was like, for once in my life, I was like, dang it!
You should have let me do it.
She was just laughing because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this one wrong. Oh, I did it right. Okay, let's try it again. You spend your entire life trying to get the perfect blend, and then when you try not to, you're screwed. Really.
I gotta say, these colors are really pretty.
Yeah, I like them.
Sometimes you impress me.
Well, thanks. Tried to think of something.
Know how to say.
Tried to think of something witty and funny to say to that, and it just. We're at the point of the evening of paint night when the words are not coming anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to do a paint night where all we do is talk about sculpting, because I think that would be fun, especially for the other people who are learning how to sculpt like me.
Where y'all just sit around and talk.
Lament about how we can't get our mesh right. My mesh is all wrong.
I don't know. I don't
Stop
know.
looking at my mesh all funny, Liz.
Dan said I'm in.
You could never mesh like this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're quad-based.
Y'all should though. Y'all should do like a Discord.
Or a hangout or something.
A Discord hangout and just you.
That'd be kind of cool.
Bryce said he's in too. John, are you in?
John's too good for us.
John's probably
John's
not
like
paying
uber
attention.
famous.
He's like, oh my gosh,
he's like, oh my gosh, they've been talking about poop for an hour and a half
he's
now.
Like, how does Justin deal with
How does he do it? No wonder he's gone. No wonder he bailed out on this one.
Stop.
John, the secret there is Justin doesn't listen.
Justin.
Well, I mean, he does, but he doesn't. He's probably a smart man. He saves.
John, I don't think John's listening either.
Probably not.
That's fine. Ooh.
This dragon is so bony.
He does. He's got lots of bones. Look how pretty. I love that we've done a 2-hour thing, 2-hour stream.
And only use 3 colors.
Only focused on bones.
Well, the kind of the sucky thing is, this is the dirty truth of miniature painting. It's not all sexy. And sometimes you just gotta motor through the really sucky part, which in this case is all these bones. They suck.
All the bones. Jesse said, I don't know how to sculpt, but he's down.
Sweet.
And then Bryce said, are we talking like 80s mesh shirts? Yes. Bryce, I am getting Aaron an 80s mesh shirt.
Look at my mesh.
That's
oh my gosh.
That's what will be standard attire.
How about a shirt that says my topology is on fleek? Why do you look at me like that sometimes? It's gangster.
I
It's gangster talk.
Babe.
Nate knows.
I just don't. I don't understand.
Fleek isn't like a
Anyways.
term that's used anymore?
No, that was so like 2019. I don't know. I really don't know. I never used that term, so. You're asking
I didn't
me
either.
wrong.
I just started using it, and now apparently it's already like old school.
Smallish Sam says mini painting isn't all sexy. I got into this hobby for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
What? Mini painting it's all sexy.
No,
all
it's
of
not.
it.
It's mostly just hard work and nobody cares about. Oh yeah. It's all sexy. It's all
All sexy. Jeff said we could be Dimesh Commode.
Oh my gosh. Jeff wins of the first snort of the night.
Oh my god.
That was pretty funny.
That was perfect, Jeff. That was perfect.
Check your mesh at the door.
Oh my gosh. Oh, see you later, Mark.
Ciao, Mark.
Oh, it's 10 o'clock.
Mm.
Holy cow. Well, we did start like 6 minutes late. So
We did have a poop break immediately starting the show, and then someone's camera started just turning off. It's all good stuff. Dimesh Commode.
Is it like Depeche
The
Mode?
mesh is on fire.
What? Is that the song that you'll sing?
Mm-hmm.
The mesh is on fire?
So that being said, if anybody out there starts using Blender and they want to learn how to do it, go to Maker Tales, that's a YouTube channel, and check out his Discord. His name is Jonathan, and be like, hey, Aaron told me to come here
Aaron Lovejoy.
because this place is awesome.
Yeah.
And it was so funny just the other day. So I've been posting my sculpts on there and getting feedback, and most of the people there are making like record players or like weird stuff, like, you know, like making a case for their computer or something. And I'm here making staircases and stupid stuff. And this guy rolls in and he posts a tree for his D&D game. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're making miniatures too. So we were like instant buddies. And
Aww.
I was like, wow, finally someone like me.
You got an Insty bestie.
Yeah,
I
we haven't
can't
talked
talk.
since then, but
That's okay.
it was kind of cool. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah. And his tree was actually pretty awesome too. It was like this evil looking tree made of tree material.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Like this
Oh my God.
dragon was made from dragon material.
You're losing it.
I am losing it.
Jeff said, I am sculpting a tool for my best friend.
Wow.
What kind of tool?
Is it a screwdriver?
Tool
Like the
for-
band?
or like the stuff that goes under a skirt?
What?
The tool that goes under a skirt. Yeah, that's what it's called. Or like a dress. That makes it poofy.
I don't know.
I'm not crazy.
Maybe it was the train? No.
No, it's the poofy stuff. I had one from the first time I got married.
Oh.
It was like,
Wait, you've been married?
yes, I've been married. Why is that always like a thing
The
that people
go-to
ask?
thing.
That's what, yeah. Wait, you've been married before? Yes.
My sister got pregnant, and I'm like, who did this to you? She'd been married for like 12 years. I'll kill him! I'll kill him!
Yes, Heather, I know it's spelled Tulle.
Oh, tool. Tool.
Yeah, tool.
Yes.
That's how we're going to pronounce it from now on. Jeff said there's a tool under the dress. I'm in the wrong part. No.
It's a chainsaw.
Oh, you messed that up. Oh, maybe not.
Messed what up?
It's just
The whole dragon?
sparkle
Yeah.
from the water. I mean, from the paint. Oh my gosh, I'm literally losing my mind.
What?
I'm
Oh,
losing
this thing right here? What are you looking at?
There were on one of the bones, it looked like you had put like white just in a random spot, but it was just wet, and the light was shining on it.
Tell me more.
Detrimental said, I print 3D models, but I'm not a sculptor. Does Blender have an easy way to combine keyed STLs back together? Like if you want to scale them up or down? If you want to print it as one piece.
You could, but you got to know what you're doing. that's the problem. And so that's the problem with all those sculpting programs is you do kind of got to pay the time reaper and learn some stuff. And it's really boring. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I know how to do that now. But so yes, you can, but it's not as easy as just like open the program and do it.
Josie said, I think people use Mesh Mixer.
I think Mesh Mixer is probably a better bet for stuff like that.
Again, we don't really know because
we've never printed anything.
Print anything
and
on
we
our
will
printer that we
never
got.
print anything with our printer.
When did we get that printer?
Like 2 years ago.
It was not 2 years ago.
It was.
You haven't even been here for 2 years.
It was right before we moved, so November.
November, yeah. So we've had a printer since November. We have not used it. It is the Frozen 4K.
Yeah, so apparently the best one in the market, or one of the best ones.
Yeah, and we just haven't used it. Hopefully we will be able to use it soon.
Yep.
We just got to get caught up on stuff. There's so much to do.
So many activities.
Detrimental said I have a Mars Pro and an Anycubic Mono X. The Anycubic Mono X, that was the one that we originally purchased, right?
We got the Anycubic, the Mono 2K.
Oh, that
was that?
Yeah.
And so that was the first one we ordered, and it got lost in Atlanta, just gone. And they didn't have any more, so they had to refund us.
Yeah, they refunded us.
They're like, sorry, we don't have any more printers. So, and that was the last one. We're like, great. And then we got the 4K, which was kind of cool because apparently it does a little bit better detail.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So
well, I'm assuming.
I also want, we're assuming that it'll be really awesome. I want to use it for my work as well because I do a lot of studio work for companies. And a lot of times they'll send me digital prints. And if we can cut out the middleman of actually printing it, or that might actually save me some time.
Things can work faster.
Yeah, printing them myself. So.
Dan said that he can't get Mesh Mixer to open on his PC, and it's a newly built PC.
That's
poopy.
really weird.
Super poopy. But Dan also said that he got a Mars 2. He loves it.
The Elegoo?
Yeah.
Taking?
I think it's Elegoo.
Yeah. I've seen some really good stuff off all those printers. I mean...
Josie said I have a Mars Pro, an Epax X1, and a Saturn, and I want a Mars 2 Pro. Holy cow, you got lots of printers. And Dan said, in fact, I'm going to print some Egyptian obelisks for the blending class next week. Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, we just need to do it.
Somebody needs to learn how to sculpt quicker. Oh, that would be me.
That would be you. I'm not. I'm trying to learn Access so that we can have a database for students.
That works too.
To make my life a little easier.
Yeah, one of the weird problems when having a successful class is just keeping track of everybody.
Yeah. Yes.
It's one thing when there's like 5 or 10 people, you're like, oh yeah, no big deal. It's another thing when there's a bunch of people.
There's like 65, yeah. Dan said, yes, it's very weird and he's an IT specialist, and even he can't figure out why Mesh Mixer won't open. Yeah, that would be super, super frustrating. I'm a programmer / artist. Yeah. Do all the arty things. Susie said you should print some pre-supported stuff before your own prints anyway, so you can get an idea of how to place supports.
Yeah, I think we do have some models, and I do want to do that. Because the one thing that I do need to print is the staircase, and it's super complex. So yeah, but the problem even there is I know that there's going to be a learning curve to that too. So I have started watching some videos. I took Andy Piper's class at Reaper Virtual Expo, and that was really good. Gave me some good ideas and kind of understand the process a little bit better. Doesn't mean that I'll execute it very well, but it will help a lot. Like understanding processes really does help, and even if you're not good at it at first, at least you understand it. Like painting green. Did we talk about the color green?
Green? No, we are not talking about the color green.
Oh yeah. All right.
I'll have to check out FileMaker. I don't know what that is, but I'll look at it. Yeah, Josie, we've heard that bad supports can be
your best friend. False. All right. I'm throwing in the towel, coach.
right.
That's looking not too shabby.
I think it looks great.
Shoot, I have a whole other side of the wing.
What? You didn't do the other side of the wing?
I got scared.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, crud. This paint night's starting to really suck.
Well, I mean, technically,
We're way over time.
we're 4 minutes over.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you wanted to stop here, we can, or we can keep going. It's up to you. I mean, I guess it's up to John.
Yeah, John's probably like, dude, I had plans tonight.
Right?
All right. I'll tell you
But
what.
I said that's beautiful.
We're gonna pay the piper here, and we're gonna continue painting. And when John kicks us out,
Okay.
that's when we're gonna go.
John said I'm here.
Okay. You want us to go, John?
He said just let me know what you want. I think we're gonna keep going
For 3 more hours.
No, I will be asleep before then.
Let me just get this base coat on real quick. We're not gonna be painting green, so it should go pretty quickly.
Yeah, he just needs to do these.
The seedy underside of this thing. Does John know who sculpted this?
I don't know. John, do you know who sculpted this dragon?
Or does anybody know?
Does it say on the bottom? No, it just says made in USA. Questron, a Spain company? Is that what you meant?
Huh?
Questron?
Is the sculptor?
Spanish? The sculptor?
Yeah. Like who sculpted it? Is this Julie Guthrie?
I don't know. John, is it a Julie Guthrie sculpt? Like the sculpt part?
Maybe John sculpted it.
I don't know. Waiting for an answer.
John's like, don't ask me.
Frankie Talk said the face is made in the USA. That's all I can tell. Yeah, that's all we can tell you.
Yeah, that's the sculptor, USA. So I know Julie makes some freaking wicked dragons. She was the one who sculpted the 5-headed one, the really big one that they did a few years back.
Yeah, that one was really cool.
But there's another gal who I can't believe I can't remember her name because she was the dragon sculptor for a long time. So it could be her too. But then, don't throw it past Bob Rodolphi to put a dragon down. But I kind of hope it's Julie. I like Julie. She's a gangsta. She's a gangsta sculptor.
She's also super nice.
Yes. Yeah, but she's got to have some crazy nightmares because the stuff she sculpts is so aggressive and just wicked, you know? Like, I mean, when she wants to. Obviously, she can do other stuff too, but her witches were really good. She did all those witches at Easter, Halloween, whatever.
All those witches at Easter.
You just kind of mix those dates up.
No, John said a company called Questron made the dragons.
Oh, cool. Maybe it was a computer system that. You say computers can draw people and stuff now, so.
That's true.
Maybe they just make a cool dragon, and it did.
And then it just does.
And it's like made by Questron.
Mini Grinder Studio said, "I want to make dragons." Also, hi.
Hey, what's up, Mini Grinder?
John said it's a digital studio in Spain. Interesting.
El Studio de Digitales. That's the extent of my Spanish.
Jesse said a deep fake dragon. Do you know what those are? Deep fakes?
No.
It's when you take
The dark web?
No, like I can take a picture of your face or something and then turn it into a video and make you say stuff that you didn't say.
Ooh.
So it's like really bad, actually. Not at all a good thing.
So we could have like a dragon that's just totally talking some serious smack.
Yeah. I don't really see why it's a good thing to have.
So I've been seeing ads on Facebook a lot of how to animate your photos. So like it could be a picture of you and your hair's blowing in the wind.
Yeah.
Which would be funny for me, because there ain't no hair to blow. But that would be cool to like take a photo of your dragon or something and have it animate a little bit, like he's chewing his cud or something.
Unrelated, back to the sculpting thing. Dan said, I think the other sculptor you were thinking of is Sandra Garrity.
Sandra Garrity, yes. Yeah. So she was freaking awesome too, like, or still is. I don't know if she's still sculpting. I don't pay attention, and she hasn't been to a ReaperCon in years. So, but that doesn't mean that she's not sculpting.
True. That is true. Real fast.
I wasn't planning on putting the highlight on, but you know what? Let's just do it and get it over with.
I was about to say, because if you don't, then you're going to have to do
I'm going to have to do it next time. We're just going to paint the bones every time we do this.
4 months in a row. Yeah. Oh my God, all he's done is paint bones.
And talk about green.
No. I think that's going to be like a forbidden topic. From like here on out, you're never allowed to talk about green ever.
Maybe next time we're going to discuss green OSL on my Necron Warriors. How about that?
No.
Ta-da.
No. Dan said, well, it is a bones dragon.
It is. That's true.
That's a good point. Oh my gosh, I have the burps so bad. I'm trying really hard, like, not to rudely burp.
So this is so mind-numbingly boring. Sometimes I just try to get the color on, and I'm not really worried about whether it's good or not. I mean, it's kind of good, but
I think it looks pretty good.
Well, that's the kind of good part.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also remember that any mistakes I make, or if it doesn't blend real well, I can always turn that into texture. So, especially on this. Now, if these were supposed to be perfectly smooth bones, I would not be doing that. I'd maybe be taking a little bit more time. But I honestly think texture is what makes the world go round.
Mm-hmm. Glennick said, will there be an OSL class someday? Quite possibly.
There could be.
Quite possibly. Just have to keep an eye out.
If you follow I started a Lovejoy art page, L.A., La La Land.
He did. That's so that's been
And
kind
that
of
would be a
fun.
good spot to look.
He realized the other day, or a while back, that everybody else has like actual art pages where they post all of their stuff, and then he's just been posting it on his personal pages.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I always figured it was like, well, I don't know, just that was a place to do it.
Yeah, but so he created his own little studio thing.
Yeah.
Called Lovejoy Art. It's magic.
All right. Let's spend the rest of the night hyper detailing these bones.
Dave Faye says, "Take my money."
We're there. Dave Faye from San Diego.
Oh, I'm assuming.
Is that Dave Faye?
Probably.
I don't know. There could be another Dave Faye, but what is up?
Sweet. Yeah, he said San Diego.
Sweet. How's it going, Dave? Man, I haven't.
Wait. No.
What?
Is this Dave?
No, Dave. You wouldn't know him.
Oh, okay.
He's a pretty darn good painter, but he was known for his prowess in gaming and stuff, like just wrecking people.
Something that you don't.
Something that I am not known for at all.
Josie, if you were talking about the gray one, I think it's a size 6. No, it's an 8.
Yeah.
It's an 8. So like an 8 or a size 6. Super chunky hobby brush.
Yeah, love
synthetic.
Them. These ones are the ones you can get like a 12-pack for $6 or something. Like they're ridiculously cheap.
The one he was using for detail is
the Monument Bombwick.
Size 1.
That's the Monument Igniter. I like the 0 better than this one, but I don't know where my 0 went. So, and it's probably Liz's 0 that I lost, so it makes it even worse.
No, because that's your Sam Lens set.
Oh, cool.
That's your brush set.
Sweet. So I lost my own brush, which is a bummer. It's even worse now. I'm going to have to bail out on tomorrow's hangout because I'm so upset.
Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron would be here, but he's not.
But he's not. How them bones coming?
They're good. I'm done. Wow. I'm going to call it a night. So we'll go underneath. So I definitely need to, I did more stuff on the top than the bottom. Although the bottom is darker, right? But I can put a little bit more detail in there, but I'm not going to be as concerned because if I photograph it like this, well, I guess you do see the bottom, but whatever. Don't tell Ron. We'll skimp a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
A little skimping. Cheaping and greeping.
Oh yeah. Alright guys. Well, John, are you paying attention?
With that, John's just going to cut us
right?
off. We're just going to be like...
Thank y'all for joining us tonight.
Yes.
And lots of fun.
Rocking
Aaron will
and rolling.
continue painting this big dragon.
My dragon.
Shavirna. From Bones 5.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I knocked my camera.
You're really
that was like another...
short.
Wait.
That's
what?
the wrong
Oh, it's totally the wrong camera. Man.
Oh.
Now my
Whoa.
gosh, it's all crazy.
Whoa.
All right. So, thank you all for joining us.
Yes. Oh, and hi and bye. Oh, any more plugs?
High five, Liz.
Oh.
All right, there we go.
So.
Hey, we do have a book coming out.
Oh, we do have a. Well, you
What?
have a book.
Yeah.
You have a book.
Yeah. Well, Miniature Monthly has a book. So we are teaming up with Dave Taylor Miniatures. So there are, I put links on my Lovejoy Art web page, and there's also on Miniature Monthly and all that stuff. If you want to check it out, if you don't, great. But it's going to be a cool little book featuring the art of myself, Elizabeth Beckley, and Matt DiPietro. It's going to be pretty cool, I think. And that will be going on Kickstarter at the end of April, so April 30th. Yeah. So he's also doing a couple other books of other artists, kind of different genres, which is really cool. But Dave's doing a whole series of, over the years, he's going to have a bunch of different artist books, which is kind of cool. I have the Jeremy Bonamont book and Alfonso's book, and who is it? Shepard Payne. I never thought I would, be into miniature artist books, but it's actually kind of cool. So hopefully you think our book's cool too. And you pick one up. So that's coming up next month. We can probably talk about it a little bit more next month when we do this too.
And then if you are interested, like we said, in Aaron's whip blending class,
miniaturemonthly.com.
There's 4 classes, and it's 4 weeks in a row, every Saturday for 3 hours, which I know sounds like a lot, but I promise it's not. They're all recorded, and you can access them for forever.
Yeah.
You can
from
check
the
those
comfort
out
of your own home.
Miniaturemonthly.com.
Miniaturemonthly.com.
Aaron also does private coachings. You can also check that out on the website as well. We have Patreon. Miniature Monthly is on Patreon.
All that stuff. Or you can just come here to House of X and hang out with me. So it all works out.
And we do Aaron, we do House of X every month, once a month.
Right. And if you just want to watch some cool video tutorials, Miniature Monthly's Patreon page is pretty awesome as well. So
I think that's all the plugs.
That's all the plugs.
Go check out Aaron's Lovejoy art stuff too.
Yeah, check out Aaron's Lovejoy art.
Yeah, it's
art, plural.
I think everything is Art of Lovejoy is.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
Slowly but surely, we're populating it with pictures. So good times.
Tiffany said, "How about we see that lovely angel's face that we hear talking?" Oh
shoot!
No,
that was the wrong camera. I don't know what to do.
Okay, I'll just peek. I'm here. I'm just really lazy, and I don't like to be in front of the camera that much.
I've been trying. I'm trying to get a webcam over there, but we'll see. One of these days, we're gonna covertly get Liz. She'll have her own little camera somewhere.
Yeah.
Then you'll see the eye rolls, and that's where it gets real interesting.
Yes, exactly.
Good times. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. We will see you guys later. Hopefully tomorrow in our hangout.
Tomorrow.
Good times. Otherwise, next month. Or next month in the classes.
Right.
Or whatever. All right. Let's talk about green.
Right.
Nope.
Good night, y'all. Bye.
Ciao. Ciao.
We're just saying bye for 5 minutes. There we go. We did it.
Sweet. What's that? Oh, that's the other person. Oh, shoot. We never talked about who we were going to raid.
Oh.
He obviously raided somebody.
Yeah, I never do because